coaches take part in a halftime show intended to invite more audience members to the arena. One person from the audience will get a chance to go one-on-one with Tracy. To the group's surprise, Calvin's ticket number gets selected for the contest. When Ox finds out, he tries to snatch the ticket from his hands.
Chill out.
Calvin somehow tricks him and runs to the front with his ticket. Tracy doesn't think much about the face-off since Calvin is just a kid. He lets him score the first round so the audience would be more involved. But following that, he has to stop the kid or he would be humiliated. Tracy tries his best, yet cannot stop Calvin from scoring a slam dunk.
Damn.
The crowd freezes in shock and erupts into cheers while the star player is left embarrassed. The following day, Knight's coaches go to meet Biddleman and ask him to let Calvin play for them for a day. At first, the director is reluctant.
New pain, that's a quarter of profit. I'm strapping on the law, but a new bag makes a new mission. New pad, so I trap in a new kitchen. Sawing the do glisten.
What's up, y'all? This is Savvy, man. And right here, this shit right here, nigga. This is Like Mike, man. It's that Like Mike shit, bro. This movie right here is about a young man who lives in an orphanage who stumbles across a pair of J's, like a pair of icy white J's, blue ones, with a hint of goddamn USC. Like, what's that team? UCLA blue? North Carolina blue, I think. Yeah. So, and it's tough. That is the color because the shoes. It's crazy. When I was younger, I didn't know that that Jordan used to go to North Carolina. But that's the reason why the sneakers are North Carolina blue is because they from the school. So, alright, man. Well, let's get into this video. I'm gonna describe more while the video playing.
Welcome back to Fox Recaps. Today, I'm going to explain the movie Like Mike, released in the year 2002.
14,
a teenage boy named Calvin Cambridge lives in Chesterfield Orphanage with two of his best friends, Murph and Reg. All three of them love to play basketball in the front yard of the orphanage. One morning, while they're in the middle of the game, a group of bullies led by Ox stops them.
Back in the
He
day.
challenges Calvin to a match for his basketball jersey. While Calvin's friend suggests he ignore the bully, the ambitious boy wants to take on the challenge as his favorite basketball players would. The match starts and Ox easily wins against him because of the significant height difference. As promised, he gets Calvin's jersey and rips it apart just to annoy him. The orphanage director, Stan Biddleman, often makes the kids sell candy to raise money for their own good. That night, they go to the home game of the NBA team, Los Angeles Knights, and sell candies outside the arena. At the end of the game, Calvin spots the Knights coach, Wager, getting into a car to leave. He approaches the man, offering him some candies. When the coach finds out that they're for a charity, he offers Calvin a $20 bill. However, Calvin refuses to take it because he isn't sure if the money they collect really goes to charity. Impressed by the kid's honesty, Wager offers him 4 tickets to the next basketball game. And overjoyed, Calvin runs to Murph to tell him about the tickets. The next day, a group of couples comes to the orphanage looking for a child to adopt. At first, Calvin is hopeful, but he soon realizes the parents only want younger kids. Later, they are handed a box of donated clothes from the thrift store. Calvin gets his hands on a pair of shoes and tries them on. When he asks the nun about the shoes, she says that they belong to a famous basketball player. On checking, Calvin finds Michael B. Jordan's initials on it. Ox gets jealous of the shoes and takes them away. He ties the laces together and throws them in the air. To Calvin's disappointment, the shoes hang on the power cable. At night, a thunderstorm strikes. When everyone else is asleep, Calvin wakes up Murph and Reg to retrieve the shoes from the cable. They go outside in the heavy rainfall. Calvin somehow manages to climb a tree near the cable. He reaches for the shoes when suddenly lightning strikes right at them, making Calvin fall to the ground along with the shoes.
But guess what happens to the motherfucking sneakers?
He doesn't get seriously hurt.
They electrify.
He notices that the shoes are charged with a weird force, but doesn't think much of it. the children go to the arena yet again to sell candies. Calvin, Murph, and Rich get 4 tickets like the coach had promised. Ox and his group of friends see them and get jealous. The bullies threaten to tell Biddleman that they bought the tickets with the charity money. To keep him from creating trouble, Calvin offers Ox one of the tickets. The 4 of them then enjoy the game between the Knights and the Minnesota Timberwolves. During halftime, the team's star player Tracy Reynolds and one of the coaches take part in a halftime show intended to invite more audience members to the arena. One person from the audience will get a chance to go one-on-one with Tracy. To the group's surprise, Calvin's ticket number gets selected for the contest. When Ox finds out, he tries to snatch the ticket from his hands.
Chill out.
Calvin somehow tricks him and runs to the front with his ticket. Tracy doesn't think much about the face-off since Calvin is just a kid. He lets him score the first round so the audience would be more involved. But following that, he has to stop the kid or he would be humiliated. Tracy tries his best, yet cannot stop Calvin from scoring a slam dunk.
Damn.
The crowd freezes in shock and erupts into cheers while the star player is left embarrassed. The following day, Knights coaches go to meet Biddleman and ask him to let Calvin play for them for a day. At first, the director is reluctant, but he agrees to let him go when he is offered money. Calvin's friends are overjoyed for him. Ox, on the other hand, is furious. Since Calvin couldn't even win against Ox before he got the shoes, the kids deduce that the shoes are magical. They decide to keep it a secret so no one would try to take them away, but Ox hears them talk. The following day, Calvin enters the Knights' changing room, much to Tracy's annoyance. The teammates ask Tracy to brace himself because the kid is coming for his throne. Calvin is given a Knights jersey and a pair of new shoes that he has to wear. He asks the coach if he can wear his old shoes, but the coach doesn't care about the attire. Calvin's presence is only a publicity stunt, so it wouldn't matter how he plays. After the last match, Calvin's popularity has grown exponentially, which has, in turn, increased the audience in the arena. He doesn't get to play for the first half of the game. As their team is about to lose, he asks the coach to give him a chance. Although skeptical, he allows Calvin to play. Since he is not wearing his lucky shoes, Calvin is too nervous. To everyone's annoyance, he calls a timeout and runs to the locker room to change into his old shoes. On returning, he is much more confident. The kid efficiently helps his team to catch up with the opponent's points and makes them win. Following the match, he signs a contract to play with the team for the rest of the tournament. He is in the orphanage packing up to leave for the tournament when Biddleman confronts him. The man wants to continue being his guardian because of the financial benefits. Therefore, he tells Calvin to be careful of the people who will want to adopt him now because they only care about his money. On the flight, the coach assigns Tracy and Calvin to the same room. Calvin loves the fact that he gets to share a room beside him, but Tracy isn't as excited about it. At night, they have a curfew that Tracy plans to break. He gets ready for a date and leaves after teaching Calvin how to use room service. The kid gets to be wherever he wants and takes full advantage of it. When Calvin returns with his date, the room is trashed and half-eaten food. He unexpected to spend the night together with his date, but instead, they end up taking care of Calvin, who is sick. The boys go to sleep late at night, but even then, Tracy can hardly fall asleep because of Calvin's snoring. The following day, they have an important match, but Tracy is tired. Calvin unknowingly reveals to the coach that they stayed up late at night. The coach warns to suspend Tracy if he misses curfew one more time. Starting that day, Calvin plays several games with the Knights and helps them win all of them. The opponents do not know what to expect when they play with the kid and are surprised by his skills. He gets to go to several press conferences and makes a lot of money. With the money, he buys a bunch of gifts for everyone in the orphanage. He also wins the NBA Slam Dunk competition and becomes the most talented rising basketball star. One night, Calvin is talking to Murph about his new life.
And it all came from a lot of people
playing in the NBA. A jealous Ox hears them and attacks Calvin, trying to take his shoes away. The fight stops when Biddleman intervenes and scolds Ox for hitting his friends. He doesn't want Calvin to get hurt now that he makes so much money off him. The next time the team is at a hotel, Tracy goes to the pharmacy to buy sleeping pills and allergy
Bitch, you always fuck with this
medicines to ensure he gets a good night's sleep before the next day's match.
We all family in this motherfucker.
Much to Tracy's
You don't got no mama, do you? You don't got no mama, do you?
The kid inquires
You don't got no daddy, do you?
Tracy's parents.
No, you don't got no daddy. Bitch, I'm your daddy.
As a father, he doesn't talk.
I'm your daddy,
It's
bitch.
foreign to Calvin.
I get you right back to me.
Anything to have good
You touch that
parents.
nigga again.
Tracy
I'm a
claims
kid.
he doesn't want to talk about
Oh!
his family and keeps driving.
Oh.
He doesn't pay attention when the cashier gives
Touch
him
that
the pills
motherfucker again.
and takes a sleeping
die.
pill instead of an allergy one.
Oh no.
Because of this, the man falls asleep before he can
Crazy.
start the
I
car
remember
and
this
get back
shit.
to
They
the
almost
hotel.
died this motherfucker with.
Calvin knows that if he misses the curfew, Tracy will be suspended.
Look, he
Hence,
got the
drives
J's
the
on.
car back to the
But them
hotel,
J's-
hitting several things on his way.
Them J's don't make
The
me
next day,
drive.
Calvin is suspended for going on a joyride.
Damn, they should have showed that
Tracy
whole ride.
feels
I
bad
thought-
that the kid got punished because of his mistake. Later at night, they're on the flight back when Tracy thanks Calvin for taking the heat to save him. Tracy has started to like the kid after spending some time with him. When Calvin returns to the orphanage, several people come in
I like
wanting to adopt him.
So there's certain
Murph
scenes
gets
on here
jealous
that
because he
enjoyable.
wants the adults to want him
That
as
little
well.
car scene, it wasn't
Since
important,
Bittman doesn't
but it
want
was
Calvin to get
enjoyable.
adopted, he
And if
chooses
it's
only the worst parents and arranges a meeting
So
with
there's
them.
a lot of scenes that are
Calvin
enjoyable,
doesn't like any adults he meets and decides to keep staying at the orphanage instead.
including this part.
That
He
weekend,
goes and he
goes
stays
to
and
meet Tracy
he
in his
tries out
house
all those parents,
unannounced.
and those
The
parents
kid is mesmerized by the size of the player's
are
mansion.
not efficient.
When asked why he is there, Calvin
And
tells
he decides
Tracy
to
everything
stay
about
at
Murph
home.
being upset, him not
So,
getting good parents, and a geometry test
It's
he
not
has
that part isn't
tomorrow.
important at all. But
To
it's,
solve the kid's
it's
problems,
entertaining.
Tracy asks him to invite
So
Murph
that's
over.
cool. So after you watch,
While they
that,
wait,
someone wants
he
to
teaches him
feedback.
geometry in a fun way so he wouldn't
You
get
can go
bored.
motherfucking.
In the middle of it, they start playfully throwing paint at each other. Murph joins them a while later and forgets about his argument with Calvin. The following day, Calvin and his friends are together talking about how difficult it is to find good parents. When Calvin tells him about Tracy and his father's relationship, they suggest he help them reconcile. The next day, Calvin meets with Tracy's father and brings him to Tracy's house. The player is furious at Calvin for invading his privacy.
Man, get
They
that
get
bitch
into
ass
a
nigga out of
massive
here.
argument about the
Nigga
matter.
just want my
The next
shit.
day, the Knights have a match
Get
against
that
their
nigga out of
biggest
here, man. You don't
opponents,
know
the
the-
Toronto
you don't know
Raptors. But Calvin and Tracy have still not resolved their differences. Because of this, they lose the
Start
match.
crying.
The coach scolds the team for degrading their performances in such a crucial game. Now,
Now,
they
this
only
big
have
right here.
one last match which will decide if they will
This
enter
where
the
the bugs
playoffs or not.
These
The
two-
next day, a couple comes to the
These two
orphanage
different
asking to
flavors, but
adopt
they were
Calvin.
meant to be together.
He is skeptical after
That's why they
several
both
failed
white.
meetings,
The
but
only
Biddleman
difference
urges
is
him
a
to
little bit
give
of
them a
motherfucking
chance.
color in the goddamn.
He makes Calvin
Jump.
wear new shoes, telling him if he
Miami.
looks presentable, they will want to
Miami
adopt him
Nick.
even more.
And white
Before
motherfucker
leaving,
gummy
Calvin
eyes.
hands his lucky shoes to
Nigga
Murph,
should try these
asking
two
him to
together,
guard
man.
them with
Yeah.
his life. To test the shoes, Murph wears them and
They were
tries
meant
to
to be
play
together.
like Calvin, but he fails. He concludes that they do not fit him and continues talking to a picture of his mother. Ox and his friends threaten him to tell them about the shoes. When he refuses, they take him to Biddleman, who burns the only picture of his mother that Murph has. With no way out, Murph tells them where the shoes are. Following that, Biddleman meets his associates and bets $100,000 against the Knights in the next game. Since he has hidden the lucky shoes, he is sure that Calvin will be horrible in the game. Calvin goes on a dinner with his potential parents, but he doesn't seem to fit in. In the meantime, Tracy meets his father and reconciles with him. He misses Calvin terribly and talks to him before their next match. He wants to adopt the kid, but refrains from telling him that after meeting the couple who he went to see yesterday. 20 minutes before the game, Murph calls Calvin and tells him about the shoes. Calvin rushes back to the orphanage to retrieve them. The kids help him to tie up Biddleman and ask him where the shoes are. Ox goes against the group and tries to help him, but he changes his mind after Biddleman insults him like usual. He brings out the shoes from the safe and gives them back to Calvin.
Yeah,
Everyone then gets on their scooters
Hey,
and
Oxy.
drives back to the arena.
He's a part of the
Calvin
game.
somehow
Is he
frees
riding with
himself
him?
and calls
Is he
his
riding with him
associates to
now?
stop Calvin from
Okay.
arriving at the game.
Yeah.
The men stop him, but the kids manage to stall them and let Calvin into the arena. As a last resort,
Piss me the fuck
Biddleman
off.
stands in front
Oh,
of
he's
Calvin,
cute.
refraining him from going further. but the kid hits him with his scooter and finally gets to the game.
His ass to
By his arrival, his team is behind by a large margin. When he starts playing, they soon catch up with the opponent's score. However, he gets tackled in the middle of the game and his shoes are destroyed. A nervous Calvin believes his magic lies in the shoes, so he would never be able to score without them. Tracy motivates the boy, telling him that the shoes only gave him confidence. The real talent lies within himself.
He was already doing a double euro.
Calvin continues the game and helps his team win. Wanting to spend the rest of his childhood like a normal kid, Calvin tells his coach that he doesn't wish to renew the contract. He returns to the orphanage, which is now entirely different because of Biddleman's departure. Tracy tells Calvin about his plans to adopt a child and asks him if he wants to be his son. Calvin agrees on the condition that Murph will also come with him. Their friend Reg is also adopted by a different family. In the end, both Calvin and Murph playfully fight with Tracy in their new room. That was all from the video. I hope you liked it. Subscribe for more content like this and hit the like button to help us out. Also, leave a comment if you want us to recap your favorite movie. Until next time, take care.
I adopt the shit out of that little nigga. Yeah, man, that shit was good. I love that. Alright, man, I hope y'all enjoyed the movie shit. It's like, my back! My back! Oh man, I did throw it in my back at the same time. That's how it goes. Alright, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I want y'all to have a fantastic day. That's up to Jesus and you. You know what I'm saying? It's up to Jesus and you. If you ain't got Jesus, you better be the best. There's the devil out there. You don't want that. Alright, man. Have a good day. Dang.